Pleasant morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Ricalmi from BS Ed 2-5. So, for today's video, we will tackle about the major environmental problems. So, can you describe the picture below? So, as you see, there are many business that had been transformed today due to our technology. So, industrialization. Industrialization is defined as the large-scale introduction of manufacturing into a society. It shifts an underdeveloped agricultural economy focused on human labor to an industrial economy based on machine labor. So it is a process whereby individual labor is replaced by mechanized mass production and specialized laborers, which boosts productivity. So industrialization is the social and economical transformation of society from agrarian to an industrial economy. So where major innovation led to huge worldwide change. So in this era created changes in business, the work that people did and society. So this shift continue to affect the world today. So causes government policy. So they encourage investment in business and technology. So there are government policies that ato daw gi kuan karon gi ginatakol nga naa daw kunoy mga kinahanglan ta og mga investment gikan sa laing nasod to form a new business. So mao na ni ang technology innovation. So new business practices encourage growth. So once nga naanay mga business partners or mga investment nga gikan sa laing nasod, so natay mahimo nga new business o mas ma-innovate ang atong area. So growing workforce, immigrants came willing to work. So workers are forced to leave their families and migrate to urban areas in search of jobs. So they work long hours, were poorly nourished, and live in overcrowded conditions, which led to disease and stress. So these are the effects of industrialization. First is environmental pollution, which is the air, water. So air and water pollution came because, for example, from coal burning, nga, once nga kanang kuan na ka, burning na ka sa mga kuan, naagid na yung mga productions of metals, basic chemicals. So, ang atong air ana makontaminated yun na hasta ang atong water. So, excessive waste. So, naagid na excessive waste kay daghan na mag-industry ang natukod. So, mas mudaghan gyud na ang waste nga kuan kay daghan man kaayong mga tawo nga magpataka na laglabay kay lagi murag naanda na sa mga tawo. So these are the final disadvantage. So wide gap between the rich and poor. So there is a wider gap between the rich and poor due to a division of labor and capital. Those who can capital tend to accumulate excessive profits derived from their economic activities, resulting in a higher disparity of income and wealth. So naagid na kanang disadvantage between sa rich and poor kay once mas dako baya og mas percent ang makuha ang mga rich kay sila baya ang mo kuan mo give og profit. So kani mga poor mao na ang ilang pangusog na lang ani nila kay ang kuan na lang gyud ang ilang strength kay mao may gamiton nila sa panarbaho mga skills nila. So daghan yung mga industry ang nagkinahanglan karon nga kanang strength og skills ang gipangita. So there are social disadvantage. Workers tend to lose their individuality. So kay industrialization typically leads to the migration of workers to city, automation, and repetitive tasks. And due to these factors, factory workers tend to lose their individual, individuality. So there are have limited job satisfactions and feel alienated. There can also be health issues brought on by dangerous working conditions or factors inherent to the working conditions such as noise and dirt. Second is urbanization. So urbanization. Urbanization, it is a process whereby population move from rural to urban areas. It enables cities and towns to grow. It can also be termed as progressive increase in the number of people living in towns and cities. It is a highly influenced by the notion that cities and towns have achieved better economic, political, and social milieux compared to rural areas. So urbanization is very common in developing and developed worlds as more and more people have the tendency of moving closer towns and cities to acquire social and economic services as well as benefits. So it includes the social and economic advantages such as better education, healthcare, sanitation, housing, business opportunities, and transportation. So these are the various causes of urbanization. First is industrialization. So as we all know that industrialization is a trend representing a shift from the old agricultural economics to a novel non-agricultural economy, which creates a modernized society through the Industrial Revolution. More people have been attracted to move from rural to urban areas on account of improved employment opportunities. So industrialization increase employment opportunities by giving people the chance to work in modern sectors. Second, commercialization. So commerce and trade play a major role in urbanization. The distribution of goods and services and commercial transactions in the modern era has developed modern marketing institutions and exchange methods that have tremendously given rise to the growth of towns and cities. So commercialization and trade come with a general perception that the towns and city offer better commercial opportunities and returns compared to the rural areas. Number three, social benefits and services. So there are numerous social benefits attributed to life in cities and towns. Example, it includes better educational facilities, better living standards, better sanitation and housing, better healthcare, and better recreation facilities. And lastly, there is a better social life in general. So in this account, more and more are people are prompted to migrate into cities and towns to obtain a wide variety of social benefits and services which are unavailable in rural areas. So tinuod jud ni daghan gyud social benefits and services. So daghan kay mo migrate nga mga people gikan sa rural areas to urban. Ito, gikan sa rural areas to urban kay naamay mga better benefits which is the education, sanitation, housing, healthcare. Kay kung adto ta sa rural, maglisod ta og pangitag trabaho, educational system didto way klaro, and also no there are no proper sanitation and wala sila'y housing nga gi pakuan sa mga government, and lisod jud kaayo sa kanang mga rural areas ang healthcare kay wa kaayoy man nagtuko dito nga hospital. So number four, employment opportunities. So in cities and towns there are sample job opportunities that continually draw people from rural areas to seek a better livelihood. Kay naamay, di ba, ay kay tungod sa industrialization naa diri mga bag-o nga mga business og kana nanginahanglan na sila tao. So mao ni ang mga people nga nag-seek og mga better livelihood, mao ni siya ang cause nga mo kuan na lang gid sila, mo migrate na lang sila para naa sila'y kanang panginabuhi. So therefore, the majority of people frequently migrate into urban areas to access well-paying job, as urban areas have countless employment opportunities in all development sectors such as public health, education, transport, sports, and recreation, industries, and business enterprises. So, it means gyud nga kanang tungod tungod sa pagka-employ niya daghan siya ma-benefit, mao na to ang mga public health, education, transport, or other nga kanang kuan services nga gihatag sa atong government. Services and industries generate and increase higher value added job, and this leads to more employment opportunities. Rural and urban transformation. So, as localities become more fruitful and prosperous due to discovery of minerals, resource exploitation, or agricultural activities, cities start emerging as the rural areas transform into urbanism. So, it increases the productivity, leads to economic growth and higher value added employment opportunities. Modernization and changes in the mood of living. So, modernization plays a very important role in the process of urbanization. As urban areas become more technology savvy together with highly sophisticated communication, infrastructure, medical facilities, dressing code, enlightenment, liberalization, and other social amenities availability. People believe they can lead a happy life in city. So in urban areas, people also embrace changes in the moods of living, namely residential habits, attitudes, dressing, food, and beliefs. So, as a result, people migrate to cities, and the cities grow by absorbing the growing number of people day after day. So, these are the effects of over, urbanization. Over, ur, Urbanization. So, this is the positive effects of urbanization. So, the positive effects of urbanization happens within the appropriate limits. Some of the positive implications of urban urbanization include the creation of employment opportunities, technological and infrastructural advancement, improved transportation and communication, quality education and medical facilities, improved standard of living. However, extensive urbanization mostly results in adverse below listed points are a few of them. So, the effects of urbanization. First is urban crime. So, so issues of lack of resources, overcrowding, unemployment, poverty, and lack of social services and educational habituality lead to many social problems. So, mao ni ang social problems. It includes violence, drug abuse, and crime. So, most of the crimes such as murder, rape, kidnapping, riots, assault, theft, robbery, and hijacking are reported to be more prominent in the urban vicinities. Besides, poverty-related crimes are the highest in fast-growing urban regions. So this act of urban crime normally upset the peace and tranquility of cities and towns. So due to overcrowding, unemployment, poverty, so daghang yung mga violation ang ma mahitabo. And mauna na ang murder, rape, kidnapping, riots, assault, theft, robbery, and hijacking. Kay tungod sa pagkadaghan sa tao og nagkalisod na sa mga trabaho, kagutom, poverty nga atong makuan, ang ilang makuan mangawat, mupatay, nga magamit og mga droga aron lang kuan ang ilang ilang murag ma-fast ang growth sa urban regions kay mao na may gi kina gi ginabuhat sa isig ka tawo. Second is overcrowding. So, overcrowding, it is a situation whereby a huge number of people live in a small space. This form of congestion in urban areas is consistent because of overpopulation, and it is an aspect that increases day by day as more people and immigrants move into cities and towns in search for a better life. So most people from rural or undeveloped areas always have the urge of migrating into the city that normally leads to congestion of people within a small area. The next is unemployment. So the the problem of joblessness is highest in urban areas, and it is even more higher among educated people. It is estimated that more than a half of unemployed youths around the globe live in metropolitan cities. And as much as income in urban areas is high, the cost of living make the income seems horribly low. The increasing relocation of people from rural or developing areas to urban areas is the leading cause of urban unemployment. Next is the housing problems. So, housing problems, urbanization attracts people to cities and towns, which leads to a high population increase. With the increase in the number of people living in urban centers, there is a continued scarcity of houses. So, this is due to insufficient expansion space for housing and public utilities, poverty, unemployment, and costly building materials which can be afforded by a few individuals. So, sa kadaghan daw ko ng Mumbai grants nga people, so magkakuwangan daw kuno ang mga kanang mga housing nga ipanghatag kay dili dili tanan ra ba gyud nga kanang mahatag dayon nya ang space pa nga atong gikuha para mo build og house, mga public utilities. So makalid gyud ni siya og mga poverty, unemployment nga, which nga kanang mas daghan daw kuno og mga tawo nga mga matay or kuan tungod sa kanang unemployment nga wala sila'y trabaho nga makita, wala pa gyud sila'y balay, kay ni migrate dayon sila nga wala dayon kakita og mga job. Next is traffic congestion. So congestion is a people move to towns and cities. So one of the major challenges posed is the transport system. So more people means an increased number of vehicles, which leads to traffic congestion and vehicle population. So sa kadaghan og tao, so ma-increase gyud na kailangan i-increase gyud na ang mga vehicle nga or mga transportation nga kailangan na atong gamiton para sa kanang kuan daily living. So sa kadaghan og mga transportation ang mga vehicle nga ma ma ma-build. So maka-build sad gyud na og mga pollution. So development of slums. So development of slums, cost of living in urban area very high. When this is combined with the random and unexpected growth as well as employment. So there is the spread of unlawful resident settlements represented by slums and squatters. So the growth of slums and squatters in urban areas is even further exacerbated by fast-paced industrialization. So lack develop of land for housing, large influx of rural immigrants to the cities in search of a better life, and the elevated prices of land beyond the reach of the urban and poor. So, other effects of urbanization is the positive effects of urbanization. So, urbanization yields several positive effects if it is happen within the appropriate limit. So some of the positive implication of urbanization is include of creation of employment opportunities, technological and infrastructural advancement, improved transportation, communication, and also quality of education, medical facilities, and and lastly, it improves the standards of living. However, extensive urbanization mostly result in adverse effects. Next is the water and sanitation problem. So water, because of overpopulation and rapid population increase in most urban centers, it is the more common to find there are inadequate sewage facilities. So municipalities and local governments are faced with serious resource crisis in the management of sewage facilities. So as a result, sanitation becomes poor and sewage flow chaotically, and they are drained into neighboring streams, rivers, lakes, or seas. So eventually, communicable communicable disease such as typhoid, dysentery, plague, diarrhea spread very fast, leading to suffering and even deaths. So, overcrowding also highly contributes to water scarcity as supply falls short of demand. So and last but not the least, the effects of urbanization is poor health and spread of disease. So the social, economic, and living condition in congested urban areas affects access and utilization of public health care services. Slum areas in particular experience poor sanitation and insufficient water supply, which generally make slum populations susceptible and communicable disease. So there are poor and health spread of disease because of lack of sanitation and the scarcity of the water. So, di ba, once na ay mga industry nga, mga new business ang matukod, na agad na ma-polluted yun na ang atong water, which is kuan tungod sa mga factory nga ginahimo sa mga tao, and maka-lead ni siya og mga disease. So, there is possible solution. So, first is population control. In urban areas, must provide campaigns and counseling for effective medical health clinics and family planning to help reduce the high rates of population growth. So, medical health clinics oriented towards family planning options must be made accessible across the entire urban area with the objective of controlling disease and population growth. So, ang mga medical health clinics daw kuno mag-give daw kuno og mga program which is the family planning aron ma madik ma-reduce daw kuno ang high rate sa atong population growth. Second is the creation of more jobs. So to lessen the negative of effects of rapid urbanization while at the same time conserving the natural ecosystem, private investment should be encouraged so as to utilize the natural resources and create more job opportunities. So, tourism promotion and the sustainable exploitation of natural resources can create more jobs for urban population. Subsidies and grants may as well as provided to foreign and private investment in environmentally friendly development projects that encourage job creation. And last but not the least is building sustainable and environmentally friendly cities. So government should pass laws that plan and provide environmentally sound cities and smart growth techniques, considering that people should not reside in unsafe and polluted area. The objective here is to build sustainable cities that embrace improved environmental conditions and safe habitats for all urban population. And government government should also encourage sustainable use of urban resources and support an economy based on the sustainable environment, such as investment in green infrastructure, sustainable industry, recycling and environmental campaigns, pollution management, renewable energy, green public transportation, and water recycling and reclamation. And that's all the possible solution of urbanization. So that's all for today. Thank you and God bless us all.